What's up, everybody? Rick here at Bear Forex, and today is Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. This is what used to be the midweek report, which is now being recorded on Tuesdays. See what happened over the weekend, a forecast on what may happen on Friday for those of you who like to trade the weekly charts, and an update on what I've done on the daily charts since last week. So we're going to get started early today. Not too much babbling going on. I should have just fired up the charts to begin with. But here we go. Check, 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 check. Looks like it's working. All right, and here we go. Starting off on the Aussie dollar on the weekly chart. We can see that what I said last week didn't actually pan out. Looks like price did move a little bit higher during the last week. It's still in the same general area, so although I'm still biased to the downside for the Aussie dollar, it looks like we are going to have to wait a little bit longer before anything forecasts. This was a surprise to me. I really did think it was going to come back down again, but I guess not. However, like I said, it's still generally in the same area. Price still spiked through. You can see right here, it spiked a little bit higher than last time. It's only Tuesday. We'll see what develops by Friday. But as of right now, we are on the holding pattern. I'm waiting to short this. I don't see an entry for long quite yet, unless there's a bit of a retracement, which I don't see coming anytime soon. You can see here we got 3 days left. Moving on to the Euro USD. Don't mind this. This was on the daily trade. You can see again, I thought that price was going to go up, and it did temporarily. It's doing the same thing as the Aussie dollar. It did break the previous high, which is whatever. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's good for me because I had a trade on the daily, which we'll get to later, that ended up banking the points. But 1, 2, and then not a third didn't hit it, not exactly. So price did shoot up a little bit on the Euro USD, mostly because I don't know why, to be honest. I haven't been paying attention to the news quite as much because there's just so much nonsense on there, and it gives me a headache. Forex news-wise, the reports came out generally as expected. So, yeah, price is moving up. I'm still waiting for a downside slide, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, at least not this week. It's still Tuesday, and anything can happen in 3 days, but I don't see anything developing for a downside move. I'm definitely not going to be going long on this just yet. It really needs to come down a little bit. This is too much up pressure without to re-entry. Remember, everybody, this is the weekly charts. Things move very slow, and you have to be very careful before you take your position, because if it goes against you, you will lose a lot of pips very quickly. Moving on to the pound dollar. Same thing happened on the pound dollar. Price spiked up above the 1, 2, 3 just to make me look bad. Not by much, but it did move to the upside. There's some potential to move to 134. I still won't be putting a long position in because I just don't feel comfortable enough to do so. So I'm still downside bias on the pound dollar. Price moved up again, moved up and broke the previous high. Not by a lot. There's still a lot of traffic in this general area, as you can see. So this is a wait and hold again. Moving on to NZD USD. Price did spike up a little bit, but not past last week. So it's just kind of sitting in a hovering pattern here. This is actually a possible opportunity for re-entry now that it relieved some of the downside move. We will have to wait and see what happens by Friday, but this could be a possible re-entry to the downside. I've been saying for weeks now that I am biased to the downside on the New Zealand dollar. It is time for this thing to start coming down, and it looks like it is. It looks like positions are being taken. It looks like some people are taking some little bit of profit off the board, But longer term, there might be a re-entry possibility on Friday. So pay close attention, you 7 people that watch this. Moving on to the U.S. CAD. The U.S. CAD has, unfortunately, I did not get in because I didn't quite believe in it, and I'm missing this opportunity, and that's all there is to it. So it's floating some more to the downside, and there's not really much I can say about this. I missed the entry opportunity. I said I wanted to get in. I think I mentioned that I wanted to get in, and I was thinking about getting in at 133, but I really didn't like all the spike action. So, yeah, missed it. Oh well. There's always next time. Moving on to the USD Swiss. Ever since I exited this trade, it moved a little bit, but not not by a lot. This was a nice move though, but generally speaking, this is just kind of bouncing around. If you were already in, I would say okay, fine to stay in, but since I got out already, there's no point to get back in. I'm waiting for a correction, waiting for a buyback, and then we'll see what happens after that. And finally, for the weekly charts, we have the USD JPY. USD JPY. A nice down move after what I thought might be a turnaround. More of this nonsense. However, I like the strong down moves, and there might be a possible entry at the end of the week. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I want to see a little bit more downward pressure, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And that's going to wrap up this ultra quick for the weekly because really nothing happened. So now, time to move on to the dailies. On the daily charts here, we're going to start with the Aussie dollar. In the Aussie dollar, there was a trade yesterday. I went long yesterday. And you could see my entry was at 72.050. Price moved up a little bit for me today. So I secured just a fraction of a pips, just a few, 3 as a matter of fact. Just so if price comes back down, it covers me. I don't know how much further it's going to go. But I'm just going to hold on to see what happens there. I don't have a price target. I'm just waiting and trying to take advantage of the sudden price moves to the upside. Maybe carve out a few pips. I don't really have a target set. I don't even really believe it's going to reach 73, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Moving on to the Euro USD, of which on Friday I opened a trade with a price target of 1.19000, and lo and behold, it hit that level and actually climbed a little bit higher than that. So I banked 64 pips there on that trade from Friday to today, and you can see 1, 2, 3 was hit, and then price did spike a little bit higher, and went ahead and took out my take profit. Again, I'm still definitely biased to the downside. I was trying to take advantage of the 3 strikes rule that I implement on my trading, and it worked. Now, whether or not it's going to continue to rise, I have no idea. I am, again, biased to the downside. I really think it's going to start coming down again. I have no open trade right now, waiting for a possible re-entry to the upside after a small pullback, and or I'm waiting for price to come down. We'll have to wait and see. Moving on to the pound dollar. The pound dollar I also took yesterday. I took a trade yesterday, and wow, did that thing really move. I had half a mind to close it and just take 137 points as this is recording, but I'm just gonna. I took about 28 pips. Secured about 28 pips. I just want to see what happens. Hold it for another day or so. If price starts to come back down, I might just close it like that. But we'll just see. I don't know. I'm gonna hold it because I don't want to. I want to let my profits run just in case it continues to climb. I don't think it's going to. But as I said, right now I secured about 28 pips, and that's going to be it for that one. Moving on to the New Zealand dollar USD, I got nothing. And I'm waiting. Same as the weekly, I'm really waiting for this thing to come down. I don't see it going up. I might try to scalp some if the pressure continues to push up on it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Well, you'll find out what happens, I should say, by Friday. U.S. CAD, nothing doing. Prices falling. Always after the fact, it looks a lot better, but you see, when prices here, you have no idea if it's going to break. And I was going to do a possible entry here on Thursday of last week, but I don't like all the spiking. Spiking to me always means uncertainty. And the next day it did go up, but then the next day it came back down. So, it's okay. I'm not mad. Nothing doing right here. I'd like to see a pullback before re-entry, and I'm looking for upside potential on the U.S. CAD. U.S. Swiss, same deal. A lot of pressure here. Could have entered here, but didn't want to because of the 1-2 times it hit that level. Price went down just a little bit, spikes back down. Again, I'm not really looking to short anything on these USD Swiss or USD CAD or the yen for that matter. But right here, there's nothing happening. But I know I just said I'm not looking to short, but I did short this one. And I'll tell you why I shorted this one. I shorted this one because of this right here. The way it looks, it just bounced right back down, and I believed that it was going to reach this level here, which it did. And I probably should be closing, but I didn't follow my own rule, which you'll find you'll do a lot. And part of it is greed, but part of it is, no, it's greed. That's what it is, fucking greed. That's all it is. It's greed. So I secured a couple of pips here. If price doesn't move down any further in tomorrow or the next day or possibly by Friday, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, I secured some pips, only a few. If it moves though, I'm gonna tell you, I secured about 7, I think. And if it moves to the downside, my target is 104.50. If it can reach that, that'd be awesome. I'm still looking for it to turn around and go to the upside, but I definitely I should have probably closed, because I think, or I should have made my profit target, which was this right here. I should have made this my profit target. But again, the greed kicked in, and I already made my decision, and it's fine. I'm just gonna wait. Tomorrow either price spikes up and takes out, or it continues to hover around here, in which case I can still make a decision to close it. But I'm thinking it might actually head down to this 104.50 area. Maybe. If price moves down over the next day or so, and if it starts to approach 105, then possibly. If not, if it starts to turn around by tomorrow, I'm just going to close it and take whatever I have, and it's fine. Because I'm actually biased, like I said, to the upside. So we'll see what happens with that. And that's going to be it for this Tuesday video. Thanks everybody for watching. Please tune in on Friday to see what has been going on for the rest of the week, and follow me on Twitter at BearForex. If you'd like to have a question or comment, you can either drop me a line at bearforextrading@gmail.com or visit my website at bearforex.com and submit a question there. If you would like to get more information on what I do on Patreon, where you can hear and what I do every single day, visit my Patreon at BearForex. Thanks everybody. We'll see you on Friday. Later.